Tanaka, so again, about those emails. He stopped abruptly. Fucking hell! You reappear in the living room door, staring right at them. What are you doing? So I demanded. That's what I would demand as well. Like, what the hell are you doing? We said private conversation. There you are, just like hiding behind the door like a fucking child. Oh, should I not be watching? So I felt like he was about to burst a blood vessel. I mean, you never told me that I couldn't watch. Because it should be obvious. Doctor made a scolded puppy face, then closed the living room door. So let out a heavy sigh. He'd never been an extrovert, but he didn't recall human interaction being quite this draining. It generally is. It depends. Anyway, was certain I could prompted. You were saying? Yes, about those emails. Something doesn't make sense. I don't understand how Mr. Makino was able to get the antiviral agent to anyone on the outside. Sharing on an Okishiro Pharmaceuticals drug with external sources while it was still under development required the approval of an executive committee that included Osawa himself. There should have been no way the antiviral could be sent out without his knowledge. I hesitated for a few minutes before responding. Are you aware of the strife between the company president and the chairman? Osawa shook his head. He was a researcher through and through. Factual rivalries held no interest for him whatsoever. Makino effectively leads the chairman's team, and the antiviral agent is their pet project. Despite being the executive officer in charge of the project, however, Makino still needs the president's approval to... You know what? Forget about that right now. What do we do about security? In theory, it was physically impossible to get the antiviral out of the lab without detection. Entry to the biohazard laboratory where it was kept required fingerprint authentication from both Osawa and Tanaka. Technology that allows an individual's identity verified by scanning fingerprints. Well, it is one element of biometrics, the measurement of physical characteristics to identify individuals. There are even devices that can identify people by checking the veins, the palms of their hands, and the irises in their eyes. Ooh, cool and sci-fi. Oh, two of them then. Nobody could even get into the storage facility. Because the dangerous virus is also stored here. The lab where the antiviral is kept is protected by an ID checkpoint, as well as a sophisticated 3-tier lock system that requires fingerprint authentication. Multiple security guards are also posted outside the laboratory entrance 24 hours a day, making it all but impossible for an unauthorized person to get into the secured storage area. Yeah, well, someone must have, because how the fuck did that happen? Tanaka followed his drift. Ah, yes, I see what you mean. He inclined his head in thought as Osawa continued. Could someone have someone in the fingerprint authentication program? Let's check the entry logs to the storage section. We'll just have to ask Makino in person. Let's check the entry logs to the storage section. Anyone who wanted to get inside had to present their ID card to the security guard on duty. It should be possible to check the computer logs to see if there had been any suspicious activity in the system. Tanaka shook his head. I already checked the logs, sir. There was no evidence of anything suspicious. You're going to check for yourself, though, if you're that worried. No, I believe you. Yet the fact that the antiviral had been used for the clinical testing, either Makino had taken it from the laboratory personally, or someone working on his orders had done so. But how? Was there really some way they could have bypassed lab security without anyone else knowing? So I couldn't think how it would be possible. The room door opened with a soft creak. It was Kejiao, and he looked stiff and pale. Something terrible has happened, he said. Visions of tragedy flood Osawa's mind. Maria, is she... Kejiao shook his head. No, it's not that. What is it then? Osawa asked, his voice trembling. Sir, I need you to stay calm. Osawa swallowed a lump in his throat. You see... The toilet's clogged. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. You have us right at the edge of our seats, and then you're like, you see, the toilet's clogged. Dickhead. I would fucking snap at that point and throttle the bastard. Police officer or no.